Hello, my name is Ian Lebrun and I'm 64 years of age. I've been diagnosed with motor neurone disease. In fact, diagnosis was in 2011. It started really with a pain in the back and a visit from a cousin who's a physiotherapist. I suggest you go to a neurosurgeon. He said, get thoroughly checked. What do you think I've got? I said, so I'm not prepared to say. It's a disease among a small number of people, perhaps 7,000 or 8,000 in UK. And the disease itself is very slow or can be extremely quick in outcome. Each person that has the disease is considered to have an individual pathway. So we're all individual in that respect. It's frustrating, of course, not being able to do the things that you used to be able to do so well. I miss the guitar. I miss being able to sing. I very much miss being able to paint pictures and create things. But of course it's something you shouldn't dwell on. You need to move on.
Motor neurone disease, it felt like we didn't have a real understanding of what the disease was. We knew it was something to do with muscles, but we were kind of a bit clueless towards it.
First diagnosis, I don't think it really has much of an impact on you when you're first told, because I don't think anybody knows what's the impact's going to be. But with this sort of disease, it's just been a slow, slowly things change. It's not one day you can't do something, you can't do it the next day. Things just change slowly.
I was coming from a background of a lot of physical education, sports and so on. I was a cyclist. I'd recently cycled from Land's End to John O'Groats. I'd cycled from Donegal to Cork, and I was a runner to marathons and climbing. I played hundreds of football games, hundreds of cricket games, and so on. So I approached the disease in a state of high fitness.
Dad going to do Land's End to John O'Groats.
Yeah.
We didn't want him to go. More than anything, we said, Dad, we really, really don't want you to go. We think this is the worst idea you've ever had. But he just went anyway.
It was a trying journey. Although we'd been told that the roads were largely flat, in fact, they were very, very hilly. Fortunately, my friend Dave often came behind on his bike and pushed me in the saddle up to some of the tops of the highest hills. It's disappointing that sometimes in life things don't go to plan. But nonetheless, we should still strive to find the very best in every day. I have a wonderfully supportive family.
Been his wife for 32 years, coming up 33, and I'm now his carer full time. When he's at home, I obviously have to do lots of things for him, and it takes up a lot of my time. But when you've been married to someone for so long, it's not a hard job to do.
I've mentioned before the support we've received from our family and from the wider community, particularly my work community, but also from the MND Association. Without their support, getting around my house would be increasingly difficult. So we have ramps, we have stair lifts, we have scooters and wheelchairs, all to try and enable me to transport myself around.
The support that we've had from MND has been totally, they've just given 100%. They're never, not that we've ever asked, but they're always quick to give to us.
Without their funding, it would have been difficult. Without the stair lift, it would have been impossible. And getting on and off is difficult. and down to my wife to help. But it does get me up to my bedroom at the top of the house and down in the morning to get to work. So being in work at the moment, though it shocks many people, it delights many. I had some sixth formers who told me that the 2 hours I'd spent with them was so enjoyable, the lesson had just flown by. So feeling valued makes a big difference. It gives you a reason to continue.
Basically, Dad had caught this carp, and carp are very, very strong fish. So as soon as you've caught a carp in your line, that's it. You've got to have the strength to pull it in. And it was right at early stages of Dad's illness, and basically this carp was just like, no, I'm having a true battle with this man. I'm not getting taken in, and Dad's pulling this fish in like that. We're going, walk back further, go further back. And he's walking, pulling this thing back. And the next thing I see, I turn round and I just see a rod going back over a bank and Dad rolling with the rod. And I ran down and went, "Are you alright, Dad, you okay, you okay?" And checked he was okay. And he goes, "Just my first question, did I catch the fish?" I was like, "Yes, the fish is fine, are you fine?" That's all I want to know.
But it isn't really a disabled friendly world. Until you actually get in a wheelchair, and I've been in a wheelchair, a couple of years, do you realise how difficult it is to get around? How difficult it is to get in a shop where there are steps, or where there's a slope, or where there are flights of steps. And also, people start looking at you differently.
I know that Dad, and I know all of us, you, me, Sophie, we've all made Dad really proud, and I know that, you know, it's kind of the cards we've got dealt, but I think we've got such a great family network that we can get through it, can't we?
You find it very difficult to, I suppose, not look at other people and other families, and I think everyone would agree, wish you were them, wish you didn't have the problems that you have.
There's a degree of having that feeling of, I wouldn't say, it's just like envy really.
I think that's the first or second stage of grieving for any kind of any kind of illness at all. That's the first kind of step, I think, is blaming or looking around and looking for other people to pin it on. I think the level of grief, the level of pain will not be apparent until 10 years, 20 years, when I have my own children. I look at them and I say to them, I don't think that you'll understand the level of grief that I have for my dad.
I'm a lot younger than my two older sisters, and it's quite difficult. Just, you know, things like Dad, it's likely that I've come to terms with it, it's likely Dad won't be able to see me get married. It's unlikely that, you know, he will see my grandchildren. He won't be able to see them, which is really hard.
And you can't normalise that. You can't make that normal, because it's not fair. Sorry.
But, you know, it's just we've got him now, you know. Could have been having one day absolutely healthy, gone the next. Could be easily, but we've still got it.
Oh, good. There's my kissy.
Well, what does the future hold? Well, I hope many good things. Of course, I love the world that I live in. It's such a wonderful planet, the third stone from the sun, as Jimmy would say. But what's ahead? I have a few targets, as I said earlier, and a few goals. To see my youngest daughter graduate is something I mustn't miss. To see my middle daughter get married is something I wouldn't miss. To see other grandchildren come along is something I look forward to. I hope I can stay the distance. I'm trying to look after myself. I know things are on a steady decline. How long that decline will be, well, it's back to that individual pathway. I don't know, and that's the answer.